So, what is a Dumky? Well, the proper question is actually, what are Dumky? Because Dumky is the plural form of the Ukrainian word Dumka, which is itself the diminutive form of Duma. And in Ukrainian culture, a Duma, or Dumi, which is the plural, were folk songs and poetry from the mid-16th century that were generally elegiac or mournful. And they also had an epic quality because the subject matter usually had to do with Ukrainian resistance to the Turkish invader at the time. And these were sung by itinerant folk singers who were usually blind and who accompanied themselves on various plucked string instruments. And in the 1870s, there was a Ukrainian composer and musicologist, Mykola Lysenko, who published a paper on these Ukrainian dumi that became generally well known throughout European musical circles and became a catalyst for classical European composers to begin writing pieces that they called dumka. And these dumki, by classical composers like Dvorak or Tchaikovsky and later on Janáček, they actually have no direct relationship to the original Ukrainian folk material. So Dumka in classical music alternates between melancholy sections and livelier sections in various permutations of that, whereas the original folk material is consistently elegiac and mournful. And so the classical composers seized upon this idea of the melancholy aspect and kind of ran with it to create their own form. And also this newer form that was rooted in folk music allowed the composers more room to play with compared to in forms inherited from the classical era like sonata form or rondo. And in Dvorak's Dumky Trio, which is so called because all 6 of the movements are a dumka, you can really see how he plays around with the form. Some of the movements, there will be one theme for both the slow sections and the fast sections. And in other movements, there's a theme for each. And in some, he'll, like at the very end of the piece, he introduces in the cello a completely new theme that we haven't heard before. So this sort of play is really evident, which allows the composer sort of to let his hair down and experiment, and really starts to set the stage for larger scale formal experiments that would dominate the 20th century classical music world. But that's a story for another time.